If you use a spotting scope, you understand the value that they can add to either a hunt, a match, or just plinking. But how would you love some kind of accessory that allows people around you to watch what you're looking at and record the action as it happens? I'm going to show you a couple of my favorites. Let's take a look. What we're talking about here is the Longshot Hawk and the Magview S1 system. Both of these are powerful tools that allow you to do more with your spotting scope than simply look through it. These allow you to use either a phone or a tablet, depending on how they're set up, to view and record, and in some cases even mark your shots, measure your groups, and do more. And I really think that gives your spotting scope a lot of power in terms of allowing you to look at things, whether it's your game in the distance and you want to record what it's doing or where it's going. If you're at a match and you want to see, what's happening downrange with the wind flags, or if you're just out plinking and you don't know where your shots are landing and it's hard for you to see, both of these will give you the ability to do that. So let's dive into both of these systems, kind of some of the pros and cons of them, and I'm going to kind of walk you through what I think works the best for me and why that is. But again, this might depend on your use, and you might find that a different one works better for you. Just out of the gate, I will tell you that the Hawk runs about $250. The S1 system runs you about $160, $170, depending on how you buy it. So there is a little bit of a price difference, but it also adds up to different features. So let's walk through the Longshot Hawk. First thing we're going to do is turn it on. That's going to get it connected to my tablet here in a second. That is all it takes to get mounted. Now, first thing I did, of course, was to look through my spotting scope and make sure that we were on target. And now that we are, I'm going to show you what I'm looking at here. And if we start recording, you can see it's actually pretty clear. And I'm pretty on target. Now, I'm going to zoom it out a little bit. And you're going to see that it definitely comes out of focus. And we're going to just want to dial it back a little bit here until we get it nice and crystal clear. And boy, that's looking pretty good. Now let's just give it a run with some rounds and see what it looks like here. In terms of setup, I think there's no denying that was definitely a quick setup. I don't have to worry about eye relief. I don't have to worry about any of those things. I can just get on it and be done. So let's see here. Now with the system here, you can see that it is on my bench. So if I shake the bench, it's going to move this a little bit, and that's okay. It's going to happen. But I could obviously put it on a freestanding tripod or on another bench. For the sake of this video, I have it all on one bench, and that may or may not work for your needs here. You can see that I've zoomed in, and let's see here. I'm just going to go ahead and put one in the upper left orange area. Okay, and you can see we did pretty good there. Shot there. It's a 22, but still forgot to put my ears on. Now let's do a couple more here. So now I'm going to shoot at the center of the target. And we're just really looking . We're just looking to watch the impacts. And again, I could put the tablet or the tripod on a stool or something if I was really worried about it bouncing around. I'm really not, because even though I can make a motion to it, that's going to happen with any tripod system that's on the bench you're shooting with. So again, this is more for filming purposes. And you can see here, it's just putting a really nice group right there, and it's very easily seen. If I want to, I can zoom in even more, and that's just using the pinch to zoom function. Obviously, the more I'm zoomed in, and that's going to go for any kind of optics, the tighter you're zoomed in, the more vibration is going to have an effect on what you're doing. But at the end of the day, this does exactly what I need it to. And it does it very simply. Now, let's go ahead and use the shot identification feature. So in this case, maybe I don't know where my shot is, and let's just go ahead and put one out in the paper on the left. Okay. And what you're going to see now is, let's say I didn't know where that was. I can tap this, and of course, right there, it's going to show me, oh, you really missed. It went way off target. It's going to reset the target, and now I'm good to go. And then let's go ahead and do something else as well, which I'm just going to go ahead and shoot a few across the bottom here. And again, if I want to label them, I can simply tap shot 1, shot 2, shot 3, and they are all labeled up, which makes it really, really nice. So a lot of great features inside of the tablet, and it makes it just really easy to use. Whoops. And if I tap on the menu up here, you can see that it's going to show me which camera is running, and that's important because if I had more than one camera running, which I could have more than one long shot running, it'll tell me which one is actually the active target that's on here. But overall, very simple to use, really clear, and again, no points deducted for the fact that it's shaking a little bit, simply because I'm trying to keep this all self-enclosed so that you guys can see what's going on. If I was really shooting with this, I would have it on its own tripod or on a little stool next to me, and again, it just makes life easier. But the shake honestly doesn't bother me. I understand that that's going to happen, but when I want to look at the target, guess what? It's perfectly still, and I don't have any issues with it. Let's go ahead and see how the Magview works now. Now, you're probably sitting there wondering, why does the video look so different? Well, it's because I do a lot of my shooting on my phone because it's a high-quality camera for doing some of the range work. But because of how the Magview works, I have to sacrifice it now, so the video is actually coming off of my iPad. And that's an important consideration to understand when you're using any kind of phone-based digitizing system. And so you can see here now, I am having to mount this up, and I already have the eyepiece on, and it has been adjusted properly. And now it's a function of getting everything in here lined up properly. And it does take a minute to get everything kind of lined up correctly. And you can see here that because I did have to kind of adjust it, it did get moved a little bit. But now you can see that I'm on target. And because I'm using the phone's native phone, or I'm using actually a third-party app, but the native phone recording, you can see that I can use the pinch to zoom within it, and I can go up to 5 times optical zoom, and that is an advantage given the fact that my spotting scope does not have any magnification other than its fixed 25 power. So being able to zoom in within the phone with optical does give me a little bit of an advantage. I'm also able to utilize this particular phone app that is giving me really good white balance and really making the picture probably a little brighter and more colorful as a result. You'll notice that no different than with the Hawk, because I have everything on the table I'm going to be shooting on, I am going to have a little bit of vibration. But you can see relatively easy to get set up. I'm just going to double check focus here, and without my readers on, I think that looks pretty good. So now we're just going to do some shooting. And we're just going to do the same thing here. Let's get this moved over a little bit. And now we can, let's go ahead and just shoot the middle. Now, because we're looking through my camera, there is probably just a little bit less delay because it's not having to send a signal. Okay. And I'm not really shooting for accuracy here, but you know, you can see it's not bad. And if I want to zoom in, I can simply do the same thing that I did. Now, the one thing that I have noticed, and it doesn't matter so far which app I'm using, if I zoom in, I can't reposition it. Whereas on the Hawk, it does let me zoom in and move around my target. The only thing I don't have on here right now is the actual recording app from Magview. It doesn't do anything different than the native Apple video camera in that there's no additional features or anything. It's strictly just a screen record within their app. But I'm just doing this one because I need to be able to synchronize everything. And I also like this particular phone video app. It gives me a lot of control. And you can see, not a bad group. This is at 50 yards. First off, the Longshot Hawk really doesn't come with a lot of accessories. You have the actual Hawk system. You have this really great carrying case, which is the perfect size for me. I can throw it in a range bag. It doesn't give me more than I need. It's no less. It has a great spot to put the charging cord here, and I do keep the instructions just in case I need to reference them for some reason. It is a pretty simple, easy to use system. All you're gonna do is turn it on. You can see that I've already flipped it on. There's a light switch. You have a 1 to 4 battery gauge on it here. And one of the things that makes the Hawk unique is that it is a truly adaptable system for everything from about 36 millimeter up to 58 millimeter, which is going to cover the vast majority of spotting scopes that are out there. It has a large wide opening to cover the eyepiece, and then you simply screw this on and it's going to move this piece down, which is coated in rubber, as are the other sides, to safely clamp onto whatever eyepiece you have. A really cool feature on the Hawk is that you don't have to worry about getting it level on your spotting scope. You simply clamp it on and then you can rotate the actual unit here on the front half, and that is going to level the screen for you. Let's look at attaching the unit. As I said, we're going to simply open this up. It provides a large wide opening. We're going to slide it on here, and then we're going to just tension it down. I find that just a little bit of tension is all it needs. You don't need to crank down on the thing by any means. And now if I was at the range and I was looking through this, I would simply rotate this as needed to level that up inside of my picture. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like on my screen here. Connecting to the Hawk couldn't be simpler. We simply turned on the unit here. It then started to broadcast its Wi-Fi signal. You can see that it is showing up in my networks. I am going to tap on it. If you haven't already connected, you're going to simply put in the password that's provided, and then you're going to be connected. We are going to head over to the Longshot app here, and you can see that it is already connected to my camera. If it wasn't, you would simply hit the connect, and then it's going to look for the one that is connected to your Wi-Fi signal and bring it right in. It is a very simple process. We are going to hit the little play button here. It will auto-orient to the landscape of my tablet as you see it. And while it's not super exciting because I am in a dark studio, you can see that just for this purpose that it is now looking through the camera. You can just see my hand passing in front of it there. And it's just that easy. A couple of the other features that you're going to find within the Longshot app are going to be a shot identification button. It looks like a little starburst. You simply tap on that and your last shot is going to flash. You'll then see the screen go blank for a second. That is the system resetting so it knows where all your shots are. The next time you want to identify a shot, you simply tap on that starburst again and your new shot will begin flashing. This is probably a great option for guys that do long range testing or have shots even at shorter distances where you're losing track because there are so many on the target, and it's just going to boop, 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 flash for you. You can also number your shots. If you're doing load development or you're shooting groups, you can tap on each shot, you can identify them by color, and there is a group measurement system that once you have calibrated, basically you tell it how much a known distance is on target, but once it's calibrated, those groups will then give you a measurement, and you can change between a number of different colors, so you can do a lot of different tests without having to reset the target every time. When you want to, of course, do any recording or taking screenshots, it is a very simple process. you would simply tap on the right side where there is the little red button. If you tap it, that is going to take screenshots. If you hold down on it, it is going to allow you to take video, and it will ask you if you want to record with or without a microphone. Another really cool feature is for people who like to do videos or want to film themselves shooting. Maybe you want to see your body position while you're shooting groups, something like that. You can tap onto this bottom left corner and it will, as you can see, show you the front camera and the back camera, or the scope camera at the same time. So that way you can get two different views in there. So there's that. And you can certainly turn that off anytime you like. So overall, you can see that the Longshot has a lot of different features. It's a lot packed into a little unit. So now that we've seen the Longshot, let's take a look at the Magview. And this here is the Magview S1 system. And it is a simple eyepiece that clamps on. It has a very strong magnet that's going to hold your phone in place. The actual box itself is going to come with a number of shims and spacers in here. You can see there's quite a few. There are some good instructions on their website as to figuring out which adapter and which ring you want. But essentially you're trying to find something that is going to fit just barely over the eyepiece here, and then you're going to choose the correct spacer so that you have the eye relief you want. And once you have that set, you really don't have to do anything, because when this item is clamped on, it becomes a new eyepiece cover for you, and you really don't have to do anything else with it. Here's the thing though, it did come with one of these plates, and this is the metal plate that's going to go on the back of your phone here. And in the middle of using this item, I did actually get a new case in the time that I've had these, and I had to peel off the old one of these, and they are not reusable. So you do need to consider buying one of their little accessory packs, which I had to pick up, and that is going to give you a few more of these in case you need to put them on different phones, or maybe on a friend's phone or something like that. I also had a slight problem when it came to my particular spotting scope. Now this is a Kowa 663. It's a little esoteric. It's not going to be the common spotters that you see out there. And it has, as I've said, a very special eyepiece on it, which is a 25 fixed power wide angle eyepiece. And while the systems are designed to cover pretty much any eyepiece, on their fitting chart, it said that the 660 should take the standard S1. So that's the one that I had picked up. Unfortunately, because of the eyepiece, the S1 was a little too big, so I did have to pick up, you can see here, this is the Mini. And the big difference is that the Mini is going to cover 38 to 49 millimeters, and then the standard S1 is 51 to 60 millimeters. And so it covers a wide range, but here's the funny thing, my spotting scope is exactly in between those two. So I did have to get just a little creative with the eyepiece. I'm not using any of the spacers. I'm basically putting the cap straight on and tightening it, and that's about all I had to do. So I guess in some ways I got a little bit lucky with that. But it did take me ordering and returning one of the units to get the other one, as opposed to having a universal fit. So you got to kind of keep that in mind and make sure that the chart fits what you're looking for. And if you have any questions, I would contact Magview and ask them if the particular unit's going to fit, if you have a weird eyepiece, which I did not do. So that one's on me 100%. Once you have the unit on there, it does require that your phone is permanently used. And you can see here, I'm just going to put it on video mode here, but you can see I have their mounting metal plate. There is a strong magnet here, and when you put it on, it's going to simply sit there like that. And I don't have it like perfectly lined up, but you get an idea of what you're looking at through the spotting scope here. Now, one of the big things you have to consider is, if my phone is on my spotter, what else can I not do, right? Like if I want to use ballistic programs, am I going to have to pull it off or kind of use it sideways till the end into my ballistics program? Maybe I put a ballistic program on my tablet. So you have to kind of think ahead. And the other thing is, you have to realize that you are not going to have a lot of the built-in features like the group sizing, the identification on the shots, and some of that other stuff. So it's just a trade-off. But here's sort of the advantage, I would say, that the Magview carries, and that is going to be that you are utilizing the optical zoom on your camera in combination with whatever you have on your spotter. That could give you a slight advantage in terms of having a little better optical clarity, long range. I think it's a narrow difference, but it is something that could come up, especially with some of the newer phones. Like I have a 16 Pro. It's got a really good camera, 5x optical zoom. If I combine that with what's on the camera or on the spotter, I am going to get a really good picture because I'm not using any interpolation or anything like that. If I'm talking about the Hawk in comparison, you are set with whatever is on your spotter, and you have to use sort of the pinch and zoom on your phone or tablet to zoom in a little bit. Often not a problem, but at extreme distance with extreme zoom, you could potentially see some interpolation, and that is also true with your phone on the Magview. So bottom line is just understand you're dealing with digital accessories on an optical unit. There are times where you may get a little bit of imperfection, but I have not found that it degrades in either case my ability to use them or to spot shots or spot my groups or do anything like that. It's just some subtle differences in how they are used. In terms of the S1 downrange, I thought it worked great. It had a nice field of view. It was clear. I could see my shots coming in. I could see my groups. It has a very low profile on the camera itself because I'm using my phone. So it's a little bit less hanging on my spotter. Obviously with the Hawk, it's a little bit bigger unit on your spotter. You're not typically in any kind of an enclosed or tight space where that's going to matter, but just understand the Hawk is going to have a little bit more mass on it because of the size that you are dealing with. I will say for my particular application, which is going to be shooting groups, shooting tests, obviously filming videos and stuff like that, the Longshot is better for my application. It's simple. I don't have to tie up my phone, and to be fair, my iPhone is one of my primary B-roll cameras, so I need it for my personal use while I'm filming. And so the Hawk really gives me a lot of versatility to have a nice big tablet out there. I can film what I need to with my spotter, still have my phone for whatever use I need, and I can go from there. I could certainly see applications where somebody is a little bit more minimalistic. They don't mind just popping their phone on there. They can record with the screen view on their phones, and they're good to go as well. So the Magview definitely has a place for people there. With that, I hope this helps you figure out which one of these units is a little better for your particular applications. But either way, I would really recommend trying this. It's fun when you have people with you that are shooting and want to see what you're doing. It's great if you want to show off that next hunt, or maybe the next time you are shooting groups and you really want to brag about how tight those groups are, or maybe how great that particular load you're developing is. There's a lot of things that you can do with this, and for me, that adds to the fun of getting out and shooting. With that, I do hope you can get out and shoot, have some fun, and we will talk later.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.